It is 4 in the morning and we are at Red Seasons in Lamde on the outskirts of Hong Kong. This is the only underground, whole roasted, wood-fired pig left in Hong Kong. Okay, so every morning the chefs here start the fire at around 4 or 4:30. All 3 pits start with cardboard, which is a kindling, and then a bunch of 2x4s, and then increasing sizes of fruit wood. The chefs here prefer apple wood and a little bit of lychee. Gives it a little bit of fruity smoke, very much echoing some of the barbecue traditions that you'll find in the US and other places. But this is a pure Cantonese technique that dates back to 3,000 years ago, Western Zhao dynasty. It's smoking up, our eyes are starting to water, but chef is totally unfazed. This is what happens every single day, 7 days a week. And they're building very, very high heat because heat needs to sustain over the course of... Wait, come look at the fire. Looks like a... Oh my God. My eyes are watering. I'm obviously on my knees to avoid the smoke that's at the top of the ceiling. What the f***? Dude, chef is like slowly increasing sizes of wood into the fire pits. He says they burn up to 600 degrees Celsius. Look at this. That's how hot it is here. He's gonna bring that temperature down to a sustaining around 300 degrees Celsius before the pigs go in. They're still roasting in these underground pits. Those underground pits you don't get anymore. The reason you don't get them is that the government isn't giving out licenses like that anymore. Chef started to the other side. He says he's gonna start cutting the pig. Here's the butchery room. 2 chefs, 50 pigs a day. During the celebration season, Chinese New Year, so on and so forth, we're looking at least 100 a day. This is a local Hong Kong pig. It was butchered a couple of days ago after it was hung, and it comes in whole, bone on and everything. The first thing to do is to clean it up and get it ready. Go into the shoulder, cut crisscrosses to open up that flesh so that it cooks evenly. And they trim off all of the excess meat that might be a little bit too thick for the roasting process. Because the entire pig is roasted at one time, we need to ensure even cooking. The belly is roasted bone on, the legs are kept on, as well as the head. The head is an important part of the process because it's part of the ceremony. This is a pretty long history of roasting pork in southern China, and presenting it at special occasions is important to Chinese people. I think the best way to describe this process is the salt cure. So the cure is salt and sand ginger, sagung, iconic southern Chinese seasoning. We're going to draw out any of that excess moisture to give us a nice meaty texture. It's a generous amount, but it's a huge pig. The chefs together are flipping the pigs over the next one to get rid of the excess salt. Onto the next pig, onto the next. That is very cool. He's sticking a bamboo stick into the tail end of the pig to give it a little bit of structure so that it hangs and doesn't collapse on itself when it's roasted. Chef is going through a process we call seung pei. He's lathering the outside of the pig with maltose water. Maltose is a staple sugar for Cantonese barbecue. It's going to caramelize very gently. It's very, very diluted. Here in the middle, this is boneless pork. They're roasted on top of a net. This is the pork that they're cutting up for rice and for noodles. The second type is the ones with their heads dipped inside of a metal bucket to protect it from burning. This step is called bui pei. Chef is dehydrating the pig in a relatively lower temperature oven so that that skin can tighten up. They're not getting these pigs well cooked. They're just trying to dehydrate that skin a little bit, naturally over smoke, over fire. The cavity is facing outwards because he's just trying to toast that skin. He's not trying to cook the inside at all. It's just about 5 minutes. 師傅，隻豬幾重啊？
呢啲燒熟38斤到啦。
38 38 kilograms. That's 84 pounds. And they're gonna go through 50 today. This skin is just warm to the touch. They're just toasting it for the next step. Chef is pricking holes into the side of the pig. This is the primary tool they use. Smaller holes, a little bit more shallow. Here's the second one, longer. The length and the depth at which they are pricking the pork is really important because they need to make sure that the fat is being rendered and fat's gonna leak out, but they don't want juiciness of that pork to come out. So this first step is gonna create smaller holes for some of those gelatin pockets to form. Here's the next step, slightly longer, He's poking into the fat because he wants the fat to render out to the outside of the skin. You know when you make chicharron, trying to get the pig skin to puff up and you're frying it? The frying part is the lard coming out of the fat of the pig. So this is really quite technical. That final roast begins. These pigs are going to go in between an hour and a half, evenly spaced out with the back facing the center of the oven. I would like to emphasize that the two chefs have not said a single word to each other, just on autopilot. As the pigs go in, the room begins to smoke up once again. Chef says, the first 30 minutes or so are about setting the skin of the pig, slightly higher temperature. The ideal skin in Cantonese pork is called sesame skin, jima pei. Heat is going to cause fat to render. That fat, as it renders out through those little holes, it's going to fry the skin basically on the outside, inside out as it dribbles out. As that's happening, the gelatin that is formed by collagen melting is going to trap any moisture that comes out of that skin to make little bubbles. That bubble, when it hardens at the right time, at the right speed, is going to be crispy. A second step is 30 minutes of more of a bake to continue rendering that fat, to get some of the grease out, but more importantly, to cook the pig itself. It is a lot less warm than it was when we first started. But chef is staying in this room and he hasn't left for 30 minutes. He's going to be here until this pork is done, every day of the week. When we got here first thing in the morning, chef was feeding the oven, kindling, announcer, oh, pork's coming out. Here we go. So it's been about an hour and a half. Oh yeah. Wow. 小心啊，小心。Wow. Look how consistent that skin is. Oh my God. Way clear because there's oil splashing everywhere. All that fat that's rendered out is in the bottom of these bowls. Come with me. Here's a pig. They're just brushing off little bits of burnt pieces. It's inevitable because of the inconsistency of the skin. The good news is that this skin is quite thin. There's still going to be crisp underneath. Can you give me the light? You see how thin this skin is? That's the light shining through. I mean, it's a little bit like a Rice Krispies, right? Every bubble is where fat leaked out and water punched out and gelatin encapsulated it. And as it roasted and hardened, that's what makes it crispy. These pigs are gonna get transported by truck to various locations, including the restaurant they have 100 feet away. The pork has made its way into the kitchen. Okay, so, did you hear that crisp? Listen to the sound. You hear that crisp? You hear that crunch? This is the front of the restaurant. All of the different types of barbecue meats, whether it's char siu, poached chicken, the roast pork, or duck and goose hanging out front. This is what we do as Hong Kong people. We walk down the street, we look at these front displays, and we look at what was good today. Whether they had roasted it well, whether it looks juicy and delicious. 師傅呢度用到係咪成日會唔會賣晒㗎？
賣晒，
賣晒，
邊度夠啊？一隻唔夠㗎。
賣嘅咁一日你估賣幾多隻豬到啊？
加3隻4隻。
3、4隻。Down with the same cleaver. Oh, so good, so good, so good, so good, so good. Chef and I were discussing, this here is our favorite cut. This was roasted a little while ago, but you can smell that smokiness. You see how juicy it is? You see that layer of fat? Some of it's rendered off. That's why it's starting to separate, which is actually a good thing. There's no hard layer underneath. It's very nice and thin. Oh. That lard has rendered out. It's nice and pure. It's nice and silky smooth. And that shoulder is so flavorful. Deliberate, hard cuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. Gorgeous. There you go. 3 ribs for you. This is the roast pork. Shut up. Less talking. More eating. It's just like that first piece the chef handed me. So crispy, crunchy. Even when it gets to room temperature, it gets a little bit more flavor. This feels like how roast pork must have been a long time ago. Other places, you'll still get crispy skin. You'll still get nice, succulent, tender pork, but you're not going to get that applewood smoke. Here's the move. Mustard. Some people call it Chinese mustard. It's mustard seeds ground, activated for its spiciness in cold water. This is going to cut through the richness and the fattiness of that pork. Here's another cut. On your right, I have your belly. Here is that leg. It's going to be more intense in pork flavor, technically. This is going to be juicier. Some people prefer this cut to the belly. Good barbecue is flavorful, and it's representative of what that animal and what that meat tastes like in the first place. And if it's pork, it's got to be meaty, it's got to be juicy, it's got to be fleshy. There's something special and sacrificial about eating the entire hog. Here in Hong Kong, when it's cooked like a whole hog like this, people usually order the pig to go to temple, to pay respects to their elders, to pay respect to those who have passed away. They order this for the opening of a business or for a wedding. It's a very, very special thing. And of the roast porks that you can get in Hong Kong, there are none like this one left. Cooking in that oven, those chefs are just doing such an incredibly good job. It is hard work. It's one of the hottest rooms that we've ever shot in. But their hard work pays off because you can taste it. And I get to show it to you. This is part of the pride of Hong Kong. 師傅唔該晒喎，拜拜，下次返嚟。